MULATSCHAG!
Hola, buenas, somos las Hinds, estamos aquí por la mañana en Austria, NOVAROCK. Y estás viendo MULATSCHAG, the only TV you need.
MULATSCHAG.
Do you mind if we're talking English? Because my Spanish is really bad.
Don't you worry at all.
MULATSCHAG.
Everything since we started, it happened really, really fast. Like we got interest internationally pretty fast, and it was insane. Like we were pretty much learning how to play while we were playing in front of people all around the world. So it was just like hectic. I just remember like a ball of feeling, excitement, hangover. Like obviously we partied so hard because we were so excited all the time, and everything was so unique. And obviously back then we were like, oh my God, this is such a huge opportunity that we need to do and take everything we can. So we would say yes to everything, all of the offers. We were going all around the world, no sleep, just like madness.
MULATSCHAG.
We played in November, October. We played in San Francisco and we played with the Strokes, which is my favorite band. And we managed to get to backstage with them and stuff. And suddenly when we were going back home, and I was like, Adi, look what I got you. And she stole a glass from their backstage that was like a super nice glass with a printed Strokes logo on it. And I keep it, I have a plant in it.
MULATSCHAG.
My first festival was when I was 18. I think, yeah, but my first show was when I was 14. It wasn't that, yeah, maybe I was a little bit late. But nobody in my family was like into music that much. So maybe that's the reason. But that first festival completely changed my life. I remember thinking all the time, like, this is one of the best invents that we humans could do, you know, like a meeting point of people that have kind of like the same taste of music of like you. So arriving there with the car and a van full of friends from school or from uni, or I can't remember, and just hearing another car playing kind of like the same album that you were listening to in your van is just to me it freaked me out in such a good way. Like
I'm not the only one.
I'm not the only one. Yeah, I think all of us we don't know each other from school. We know ourselves from the music scene in Madrid, basically, and I think sometimes you have this kind of personality that, or at least in Madrid, if you are a music freak, you're not gonna be in the popular part of the class, you know. So I think when you find each other's and you collectively feel like you share your interests, I think it really feels super warm and nice, and that's why everything begins to be very intense and a fun world again.
MULATSCHAG.
Madrid is always a tough one. Either because you're a little bit nervous because your grandmother is gonna be there, or I don't know. I think Madrid is a tough one in general. Sometimes it's super nice and it turns out to be one of the best nights of the whole tour, and sometimes I even sometimes go back to some shows in Madrid like it gives me anxiety at night, like a little nightmare that comes again and comes again. Because of trying to do it better and I fucked it up in this moment or whatever, and some mistakes that, wow, and everyone saw that, and I feel embarrassed, you know, because of thinking.
I've realized we just did a tour opening for a very big band last month, and I've realized, because we hadn't really, usually all these years we've done headline tours, so all the fans knew us because they bought the tickets to see us, but this was the opposite, like no one really knew us. And I realized how much I enjoy the anonimato, like being anonymous and being like, it feels...
No one cares.
No one cares, no one knows you. no one's judging, like no one has any idea of who you are, so you're like presenting yourself every night, and every night is like a chance, you know. And it felt so like obviously such a freeing experience to just perform for whatever, not thinking your mom, your dad, your uncle, the guy in the bar, whatever, you know.
MULATSCHAG.
There are more and more females in rock music, for God's sake. What would you say are the biggest differences, how musicians behave on tour, females compared to males? Do females wash their clothes more often, or what would you say?
What? No, I wouldn't say that. I think it depends on the person. So it's even inside the four of us, there's huge differences. And see,
But I think there's a limit where you really can tell that you're a girl or you're a boy. For example, you hear stories about other rock bands like, oh yeah, I had to have the address of the hotel written down in my arm because every night I completely black out and I don't know where I am. If you're a girl, you usually don't do that, you know?
I mean, we don't disappear. Claro, we never disappear. We never. Very rarely one of us goes without the other. And if that happens, then it's like, where are you? Because it's obviously it's not safe. But that happens, of course, in our cities without being in the band anyway. It happens to every girl and woman around the world. So, yeah. But I wouldn't say. I think like as touring, probably the same.
MULATSCHAG.
Obviously, asking this right now is hard because it is hard to be a band right now, right after COVID. So we're just trying to survive as it is now.
Day by day.
See, we're living day by day. We can't plan. Like, it is very, very tough. I don't think no one realizes how tough it is for bands right now. Like, all of the balances and like, I feel like everyone went back 5 years of, you know, how you grow 5 years, but then you're still 5 years older, +2, because there's been 2 years in pandemic. But yeah, I think we will figure it out and it will work. Marrying is probably not going to happen, or if it happens, it's not going to change anything because what does that change? So we're not going to start quit our job and start taking care of the husbands, you know? That it wouldn't be the kind of...
to take care.
Sorry, I need to stop working. See. And babies, hopefully, when it happens, if it happens, we're a little bit bigger so we can take the babies or take 1 year off or take 2 years, you know. It's all possible. I'm sure.
MULATSCHAG.
MULATSCHAG. Hola, we are Hinds.
Hello, you're watching MULATSCHAG and the only TV you need.
And we are Hinds.
Let's do it again.
We are Hinds and you're...
Eso.
Hello! We are Hinds and you're watching MULATSCHAG, the only TV you need.
MULATSCHAG.
The first hologram festival, show, happened the other week. Really? And it was ABBA, and it was full hologram and stadium, 5 stars crew, hologram no sé qué, visuals, like fucking crazy.
That's crazy. I mean, we're open, no, to the future.
I love technology and I love the new things that can come, and I would love to, see, we had the opportunity to do one of these stupid things. Yeah.
MULATSCHAG!